I'm actually a man, so I'd rather be referred to one. I was in church this morning and I'm in priesthood because that's what men do. They go to priesthood. I'm sitting in priesthood and then all of a sudden this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Oh, you're meant to be with the women." And I said, "No, mate, I'm a man. I'm in priesthood." He goes, "No, you're not." And I go, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "What? Have you seen me like naked or something?" You know? And it really angers me when I cop that. And what's worse is it's the same issue as marriage is between a man and a woman. What makes a man and a woman? Australia identifies 3 genders, not 2, 3. Then on top of that, you have hermaphrodites. They're literally another gender on top of that. So what? Hermaphrodites aren't allowed to get married? Because they're technically not a man and they're technically not a woman. You know, then you've got intersex people who, you know, they're not a man and they're not a woman, but they're actually a legalized gender in Australia. You can get a birth certificate, you can get a passport that says I as your gender or X for intersex or indeterminate, which means that they can't decide your gender. Then psychologically, you can be another gender. I can be physically one gender, but mentally another. That's what transgendered people are. What about transsexuals? They've actually had a sex change. What does that make them? So how can marriage be between a man and a woman? So does that mean hermaphrodites can't marry? Why? Because of some punishment that churches want to inflict on a perfect creation of God? You know, God doesn't make mistakes.
Which do you think matters more? Your psychological sex, if I can put it like that, the sex you think you are, compared to the sex that you physically look?
I think it's more important for you to be happy in your body. And if you have to change your gender or your gender identity, then and that makes you happy, that's more important than what your body parts are.
If you're psychologically a woman, if you regard yourself as a woman, you
No,
have
man,
the body of
man.
a man, or vice versa.
Yeah.
If somebody was, pardon me for saying it, but if someone said to you, "Okay, what are you really?" would you say, "I'm a woman because psychologically I'm a woman," or "I'm really a man because I look like a man and have the parts of a man"?
Can you get around the other
So
way?
I wasn't.
Well, I'm a man, okay? Medically, I'm a man. Psychologically, I'm a man. And what I look like has nothing to do with my gender.
So it's an up here thing.
It's an up here thing and it's an all body thing, okay? So it doesn't matter if I was born a boy, it doesn't matter if I was born a girl, it doesn't matter if I switched and then switched back. What's important is I'm happy being a man. I am a man, and as far as anyone's concerned, I'm a man. And if people want to argue with me, they can argue with me till the cows come home. But unless you've seen me naked, you cannot actually know what body parts I've got, and until you want to see me naked, you have no say in what body parts I've got. My gender on my birth certificate says I'm a man. My gender on my Centrelink payment says I'm a man. You know, so legally I am a man. Medically I am a man. Psychologically I'm a man. The fact that people can look at me and go, "Oh, that looks like a girl," that means nothing. That's like saying, "Oh, that woman is mean because she looks mean." That's basically what you're saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I've got freckles too, but it doesn't mean that determines who I am.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Do you wish that you looked like a man, or do you go out of your way to sometimes look more like a man?
Yeah. Totally.
Well, you've got long hair. Most men have short hair, for example.
I'm goth too.
Explain.
Well, goth is a subculture where men are expected to have long hair. They're not expected to have short hair.
All right.
So you actually get bullied if you're goth with short hair.
Okay, so you would never use makeup then, unless it's goth makeup?
Correct.
if you were to get married, change your mind, would it be to a woman, I presume?
No, I'm gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a gay man?
Yeah.
All right.
Marriage came from hand fasting. Hand fasting is a pagan, shamanistic rite. Just because people stole it, and if you go out and you steal a car and call it a bike, that doesn't make it any less of a car, and it doesn't make it any less of a theft. So stealing hand fasting and calling it marriage doesn't make it any less of a hand fasting and any less.
Say something I think you genuinely believe. It's not bad.
What's hand fasting?
Hand fasting is a union between two people that pagans and shaman religions actually use to unionize two people for a year.
Was it consensual?
Always.